There we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Universes Academy podcast. I am your host, John Jennings. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Mr. Ryan Kraft, Mr. Matt Childress, and Mr. Chris Smith. Boys, reunited, and it feels so good. How we doing?
We back.
It's only been 2 days, John. Have you missed me that much?
Oh, well, obviously.
Jesus. Oh,
Yeah,
man. I know. It was a great weekend, so, we should talk about it.
It was a great weekend, one in which we commemorated by not taking any pictures together.
That's true.
That is true. I said that. Like after you left, I was like, well, we can't really take a picture underneath the banner. And then Matt suggested we just Photoshop you in. So.
I would have definitely. That would have been hilarious. You should have done that.
Like the idea was we all take an individual standing beside like just one of us, and then we just take one of it, and then we'll just Photoshop you into that picture. So it looks like you're standing beside it.
Yeah.
So, or we could have said he was cosplaying as Hagakure. So we could have been like, they would never have known. He's here, you just don't know where.
Yeah, but obviously the Orlando regional license exam was this past weekend. We all went. It was lots of fun. Before we get into all that good news, we got some other news. The Gen Con promos have been announced. They are pretty awesome. There's a 5. It is All Might 5 or 6?
7.
All Might 7. Capture Evildoers, Meteor Shower, Heroic Lineage, and
Let's Fight Bad Guys.
Let's Fight Bad Guys. Yeah, I know it's Bakugo. And they're all kind of D&D themed. So they're all different like fantasy style characters, and they're all really cool. Yeah. And there's a bunch of like different events, I think, and different ways to get them. Is that right?
So far, the only one that you're getting is Meteor Shower for the provisionals. That's the only one they've announced via and it hasn't even been on the MHA Discord or webpage. It's through the Gen Con event page. You actually have to look at it. I think that's the provisional one's Meteor Shower. I know teams, on Sunday you get 2 different ones. Okay. They said that the big card events and the learn to play events have the same pricing as provisionals. So I don't know if it's the Meteor Shower. They haven't come out and said it. Also, they've also alluded to you can get these by just attending or buying product, but they haven't said. I imagine it's gonna be like Origins, where you spend a certain amount of money, you get a promo, something like that. But I don't know which promo. I'm pretty sure the All Might, who I've dubbed Cloud Might because he looks like Final Fantasy VII,
Buster Sword looking thing.
Buster Sword,
All Night, huh?
That works.
Well,
too. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Cloud Might sounds cooler. But
for those who aren't just Final Fantasy fanatics, does it?
But anyway, it's very exciting because everybody wants these promos. I've been contacted by people. I can't make it. Can you get me my promos? I'm like, dude, I can try. I'm only there for 2 days, man. So,
Spoilers, no.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Like, I would imagine the All Might may be the easiest to get for, like, demoing.
That's what you get for buying stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's a character card. Like, if you want to try to get someone into your game, hey, you bought some stuff, here's a character card. Have fun.
Yeah, very true.
I think as opposed to, hey, here's an action. It only has 3 symbols. You may or may not ever be able to use it. Also, we need to explain how this works. This character card would have been a better decision.
Very true. Or maybe they just like give you the character card plus 1 random one.
Well, I wonder. So in years past, when I've gone to Gen Con, you get a swag bag. It has a bunch of different stuff from games. I wonder if All Might would be in that if they're still doing that.
That would be dope.
Oh man, hopefully it's in a top loader because man, that thing's gonna get wrecked.
I can tell you in the past they were not in a top loader. They were just like packs, like the
it's whatever.
Are now.
It's whatever they give you in.
Very true. Yeah,
that would be neat. At any rate, I mean that's probably not how they're doing it because that'd be a ton of All Mights. So that's probably way too many to make. But you get a way to get the game out there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What all have they? So they said the promos, and I know you said there's going to be a teams event.
Yep.
They're going to have provisionals going off and stuff, right?
RLE's going on.
The
Wednesday,
RLE,
the RLE. They have a giant card, like a big. I think it's going to be
oversized
card. What
There's
else?
All sorts of events going on. Like
there's the learn to play events at the same time as the RLE. So I'm taking advantage of my buys, and I'm going to go playing it and drop after round 2 just to get promos. So, yep. So I'm gonna hopefully maybe demo some new players while I'm playing in that event, and then they've also announced they're looking for judges and volunteers, and I believe it's full paid if you go flight, room, board. Yeah, I think that's the whole deal. So if you're thinking about going and you can't can't afford it, it may be a really good time just to go and hang out and learn how things go behind the scenes. Plus, usually they give out some really cool stuff. I've volunteered for Jasco before, and you go home not mad. You go home happy.
Do you think they could contact my employer and get me more PTO to go?
I mean, that sounds like a you problem, Ryan.
I hope that would be part of the package to come out, and they could call my employer and be like, "Hey, this is important."
Put a ticket in. Okay, so you put a ticket in. Ask Lenoco to call, or this could be one of those chances that you say you have a death in the family, or you just have COVID again.
Eek. Too soon, man. Both things have happened in the past year.
Yeah.
So I to your point about if anyone's interested in actually volunteering for Jasco, I did that at Gen Con one year and worked the booth. And to Chris's point, we got compensated with basically like Jasco bucks that we could then spend at the booth, and it was contingent on working your full shift and all these other sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, each day that you did it, you earned X amount of them. And to your point, I left with like 3 play mats, 4 boxes, and like all sorts of junk. And I was there for, I think, 4 days. I didn't go for all 5. I was there for 4. So, and I had my own room board, but they did offer to house me as well. I just had to get myself there. So, it was a fun experience. If you decide to do it, my best advice would be make sure you bring tons of cough drops and drink tons of water, because you will go hoarse immediately, because it's so loud in that dealer hall that you're basically just yelling so someone across the table can hear you while you demo or while you sell product or whatever. So friendly advice there, learn from my mistakes.
That's probably just a good idea in general, just to make sure you drink water, have cough drops, take care of yourself. Something I didn't do this weekend because I did not feel great at all. So that may be something we touch on like during our Orlando recap. So
which we could dive into the Orlando recap now. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to?
Well, we do have some upcoming events. There is, I believe, another online provisional at some point soon, right?
It's after Gen Con.
It's after Gen Con.
It's after Gen Con.
Forever away.
The RLE is the next big event.
Gen Con is the next event. Period.
Okay, it is.
Wait, no. There's a provisional this weekend in Toronto.
I was gonna say, I thought the Canada event was coming up. I didn't know exactly when. So you've got the provisional in Canada in Toronto, like you said. There's 1K happening close to us in Somerville, which is like 3 to 4 hours away. It's down near Charleston. At was it Final Round?
Final Round.
Yeah.
Final
Round.
Yep. That's Jacob's store.
Yeah, Jacob down there, doing some good work down there, putting up a 1K. If you're interested, it's I believe $30, and there is a minimum entry of at least 30 people for it to happen. I believe.
I think it's his birthday weekend too. I think that's what he's doing. It's for his birthday. Yeah.
And on Sunday there's going to be a teams event.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So Saturday, I think the entire 1K, I think it's all Saturday, and then Sunday will be the team event.
Yeah, you got to think minimum 30 people is only 5 rounds, and then a top 8. That's not too bad. You know?
Yeah. I mean, for a chance at part of $1,000.
Dollars, yeah, sure.
Also the experience. Get some games in, meet some people that haven't been down before.
Yeah.
Still no real info on set 3. Tim put out kind of like a little spoiler, like, hey, here's some stuff that's gonna be on cards.
Right.
And it was like a various like what kind of themes we might see. And I think he actually gave like specific, it didn't obviously say what symbols or anything like that, but like this is a deadlock enhance. These are like actual enhances from cards or characters and stuff like that. So that's probably up on the Jasco main site if you didn't see that.
Yeah, I don't actually.
Good.
I'll say the link is actually not on the Jasco main site. I think you have to go find that in Discord. Yeah, I don't know. Like their website is still terrible, so you can't find any of these articles.
Dr. Jones fedora and go searching for that like the Lost Ark, I guess.
Yeah.
It may be pinned in the main section of the MHA CCG Discord, so it may be pinned at the top. I would imagine it should be because it's kind of important.
How is it not posted on their website?
It is. Hold on, it is on the homepage of the website, but not on the news page.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But if you click the link, it brings up a blank page. So actually, it's not there. I was right the first time.
Oh my god!
Wowzers! I know that they're restructuring a lot of their website. Like the organized play section's getting totally redone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Aspira said that sometime, I think last week or the week before. I believe it's all getting all overhauled.
You know whose website isn't total trash and does work?
Yours.
universalsacademy.org. That's what website isn't trash and does work.
And what kind of information could you find there, Matt?
You everything except for that article by Tim, because he made it, not us.
Yikes.
But what if I wanted to know about character hand size breakdowns across tournaments and symbols? Where surely you don't have that, do you?
Oh, we have meta analysis. We do. Now, full disclosure, I need to update it, but it was accurate for about before Origins. I haven't gotten all the stuff since Origins, so a couple tournaments behind. But yeah, it gives you hand size representation in top 8, give you symbol spreads, give you character representation. You know, you can go in, frequently asked questions, ban what cards are banned, all the stuff, man. Everything. Event calendar. You can subscribe to the event calendar, get notifications. Telling you, we got you covered.
Nice. So, if you're, hopefully you can find the article Tim put out. Like, hopefully it's in the Discord. I would hope it's there, because it actually was pretty neat to kind of read and see what kind of themes they're thinking about, what kind of cards they've got going on there. But yeah, got a whole bunch of other stuff at the Universes Academy website, guys. Come on, let's get over there. Yeah. Moving along into something that has already happened recently. We talked about. No, we're not. What's up, Chris?
Don't forget the provisional season 2 promos went up on the shop today.
That's right.
As of recording. So I've already so put your order in for your childhood friends, your stadiums, your actions that may need a set or two to be used. I don't know where I'm gonna put that in. And the characters, obviously. And award the victor, because Matt beat my ass with it. So
point of order. I don't have to put in my order for my childhood friend because he's already here in the chat with me. It's Matt.
Oh,
how cute.
Yes. Yuck.
You can hear the
stop
jealousy
it.
in his yuck, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But that is a good point, Chris. I had completely forgotten about that. So if you get your loyalty points, there's been also some miscommunication. I've seen people asking about this on Facebook. The people keep saying that you can't send in packs. You can send in packs. You can still send in packs. Like, I don't know where this got started, or maybe it was something that they said was maybe misunderstood about processing packs or something, but you can still send them in. They are accepting them right now. It's totally cool.
Yeah, I think it came into there was a pause at one point where they're like, we're not taking any more while we do X. And I know myself, like you and I were even talking about, like, I was confused. I thought they weren't taking packs anymore, that they were just basically putting the program on pause indefinitely until they got all the other warehouse stuff sorted out. Yeah. Apparently that was not the case. It was just until they got caught up on the other stuff, which they're still kind of behind on some provisional stuff. So maybe
wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, maybe these cards will come in the next month or so, maybe-ish, hopefully, if you have points, you can order them. So I don't know. I haven't placed my order yet, but I'll keep you posted.
But yeah, so like Matt was saying, all the provisional cards, the characters, if you're wanting any of those, obviously, if you're going to be a peasant and not have foil versions, you can get them that way, I guess. I mean, people say they play the same way. I don't believe it, but I don't know.
I mean, you're looking at childhood friends and stadiums anywhere from $75 to $100 a copy. I'd rather just send them my trash and get non-foil versions. I'm cool with that.
For sure.
Yeah. But obviously, back to the main point of the episode, talking about Orlando.
Florida.
Yeah.
Florida, man.
First of all,
Florida.
I had a ton of fun at the event. Everyone putting it on was great. But yeah, I feel like the second we drove across the border from Georgia into Florida, our travel experience on there just went to shit. So Matt, Ryan, and I all rode together down from South Carolina. Chris flew in, and I feel like you had a pretty straightforward travel experience, right? No real hiccups or anything.
Oh, nah. Flying out of Chicago is easy. It's just the direct flight straight down. Yep.
Yeah. No, it's just like there's just wrecks constantly in Florida. We drove in and out of the same storm, I want to say 3 times around Jacksonville. Well, part of it is on us because we weren't paying attention. And so the highway around Jacksonville is a circle, and it's like a giant roundabout around the city, basically. And we weren't paying attention. We were supposed to get off like right here, and just like went this way out of the storm. Realized it had to turn back into the storm.
to then go that way.
Yeah,
that wasn't Florida's fault, but I'm blaming Florida anyways.
But
yeah,
to be fair, the true bane that is Florida is the fact that Google Maps doesn't work in Florida. Like countless times while we were using it, we're like, okay. Google's like, stay in the left lane, merge onto 95, stay in the left lane. Hey, that was 95 north right there. It was the right
off to the right.
Stay in the left lane. Yeah, and then you drive past it. Or it'll be like, get on the ultimate express lane. God knows what makes that ultimate, but it really wanted us to get in there, but we didn't need to. So
probably the fines we would have gotten, the ultimate fines if we'd gone in that lane.
Fines. Yeah. So that being said, I do like they're really like every interstate was like 6 lanes, right? Like that's
nice. That's kind of nice. Yeah, it's very nice.
And it had all the lanes were functional, unlike in South Carolina.
Yeah. Right. It didn't feel like you're riding on like gravel. but yeah, like that being said, traveling down there was kind of miserable. Like it really was. I mean, like, of course, also I'm old, and I think I've just determined that 8+ hours in a car is just way too long for me to sit in a car anymore. Like I can do like maybe 4 to 6 maybe, but man, that like Ryan and I literally on the way back we're like, well, we just worked like a shift and a half and we didn't get paid overtime, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's brutal.
Yeah, my max is 6. Man, I think 6 is the max, which I'm lucky because Omaha's 6 west and Columbus is 6 east roughly. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty set. So and Detroit's like Michigan. If there's anything in Michigan, it's like 5 hours. So it's not too bad. So, but that's my max because I've driven to Georgia once and to Atlanta to PTC, and that was 12 hours by myself. And I'm never doing that again. I'll fly.
By yourself?
Yeah. I drove 4 hours south, stayed at a buddy's house, drove the rest, drove 8 on the way home. I left like at 3 o'clock in the morning and just drove 12 hours straight home. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I had no one else to go with. No one else wanted to go. So, you know.
That's brutal.
I had a good time and I had a great time in Atlanta though, not gonna lie. So it was worth it.
They're always fun. Atlanta events are always fun. So.
It was worth it. Yep.
Let's get Nats in Atlanta. Just floating out there, Jessica, if you're listening.
But yeah, aside from actually getting to our Airbnb and getting to the event, driving in Florida was a nightmare. The event itself was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We stayed up too late Friday night. For sure. I'm not gonna say I started falling asleep in at least one match, but you know, it definitely happened.
There might be photos to prove it.
There might be photos to prove it. It was probably against the worst person to do it to because he ended up winning the whole event.
But or the best. It was just the best person to do it to. Like this guy's got to get it anyway.
I was gonna say, to be fair, it would not have mattered or changed the outcome in any way, shape, or form had I had rested at all or rested well enough. Jacob was gonna beat me. It was that.
I'm sure
double J versus double J matchup.
I know.
I'm sure he told everyone that his opponent literally fell asleep. Easiest round of his life.
Yeah. But against some dude, he had a beard and glasses. I don't know. He was like falling asleep and kept forgetting to.
Like weekend of Bernie's or some shit. I don't know.
So yeah, this was a huge event. Though. It was like 211 players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was crazy.
Pretty awesome for an RLE.
Yeah. So Matt obviously did the best out of all of us, and I gotta say, big props to Matt. He beat me and Chris in the event.
I didn't want to. It's just I don't know what to do. It's just
I mean, you gotta play who's in front of you, dude. So you can't really do too much about it. So
neither of you made it easy on me. So
I don't believe you, but I appreciate that.
Almost had you. That's all I gotta say. Almost had you. Just one attack.
Matt was also on stream in the fight in round 8 and against playing. Well, Matt, what were you playing? We'll start with there.
Sure.
What were you playing?
Sure. So I played my Chaos Midnight deck, same one I ran from Origins, just with some slight changes. As we alluded to earlier, added in some Award the Victors. Got a couple of those. Made some adjustments to the attack lineup and foundation base. Just some slight alterations. You know, it did pretty well there. It was 4-3. Finished in top 32 there. So ultimately finished top 32 again. Went 6-2 on the day. Lost to a Midoriya, lost to Momo 1 with Mr. Nathan DeWalt, who now has, I'm pretty sure, beaten me every time we played because to be fair, I don't think that's a great matchup for me. Momo versus Midnight. Like he's really good at replenishing his board. Like he focuses on that a lot in the way he builds his deck with her. And -2 or +2 speed for destroy is pretty good when I can commit and only get -1 on a lot of his attacks. So yeah. That being said, he still played really great, and our games were incredible. Literally, he didn't die one game because Jacob had convinced him to put in a Jiro as a buddy block, and he already had one in his pool. He was completely tapped out, and the indiscriminate was going to swing in for lethal. And I was like, 6 speed. He's got one in his pool. He can't block. He's like, Jiro buddy block on a 0. I was like, are you kidding me? Checks a 5, taps the character. Brr. I was like, okay, you did it, dog. You did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really good, and then he just killed me on the backswing. But whatever. Yep. Anyway, great games. And yeah, got to play a lot of really great games. And last round was on stream against Ashoto 2. We're both in a situation win and potentially in. So I ended up with 18 points. Problem with that is that my tiebreaks kind of sucked. So instead of finishing like 13, no shade thrown, sorry guys, but like well, I think even Nathan hit a skid after he and I played also. So I think it was like 13 through 24 or so all had 18 points. So it just came down to
wow.
Yeah,
it was
like I was looking
it was
at
very tight.
Yeah, it was a large chunk. So like if I gotten one more win, definitely in, right? If
maybe even a tie, one of those losses.
Even potentially a tie. But it's all good. Had a great time and really pleased with the deck. And it's a lot of fun. I'm probably going to try to either make a video or write up an article or something about it because I've had a handful of people reach out about wondering about the list and kind of seeing what it's all about. So share that with everybody.
Ryan, what were you playing?
Man, so I once again had deck paralysis because deck DECK paralysis. Sorry, let me just be clear. So yeah, I don't know, something about this format, man. Like
you killed Matt. I just want you to know that. We're watching the life escape from his body.
Yep, he's dead. He's dead.
For those of you who are
Ryan
listening,
has erectile dysfunction disorder.
Yes, erectile dysfunction. Yeah.
I think you're killing Matt right now.
He's got to contact Cam, who's the deck doctor.
That's true. But yeah, man, I don't know. This format, dude, I cannot find anything that I actually enjoy playing that's competitive. Like all the decks that are top tier just seem terrible to me. Like I don't have fun messing with them. They're not even fun to even theorycraft to play. So I ended up just playing Bakugo because I actually have fun playing Bakugo. It's not a good deck. It's like a B tier deck, but it's Bakugo 1. Yeah, it's not a good deck. It's fun to play. I went like 3-3 and dropped, but I had fun while I was playing. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just got to find something to actually enjoy playing, which doesn't seem to be happening in the set 2 format. So we'll see. Maybe I just need to wait until maybe something good will happen in set 3. Maybe.
Hopefully. Chris, what about you? What were you playing? As if
yeah, I know. I played all my 3 again for the run back. Went 4-4. I had a few really, really close matchups. One against Matt, and a couple of my losses were either just not drawing attacks or checking attacks, or how the game goes. Hey, man, I kind of think I got humbled a bit. Like I felt good going into the event. Well, I mean, not like I was like pompous about it, but I felt really good with my chances and my deck. Yeah, I was confident in my deck. I wouldn't play it if I wasn't. But just, man, I just started feeling like crap after Matt kicked my ass, and then it was just like it went downhill from there. Like I think I got dehydrated, and I wasn't taking care of myself. And I'm a big believer of the energy you put in is the energy you get out. So it's just like I was feeling bad, so my deck felt bad, so it played bad, which is maybe an excuse to some people, but it's just I just felt like I did not play well at all. The last round, I played a guy. He was a Chaco 1. I whiffed the kill. He killed me, and I was just like, dude, I'm done. I'm scooping to you, man. I'm just finished. I just not feeling. I went through my first build turn, built 3, checked all attacks, and I'm like, man, I'll give it to you, dude. I'm done. So, but played 4th kind in the teams event. I'm gonna take this time right now to do a retraction. I am sorry, Andrew Holder. Your 4th kind deck is fucking awesome to play. It is a lot of fun. That character is not as bad as I was advertising. That dude is a lot of fun. So I'm sorry, buddy. I love you. And yeah, so Fortkind is on the list for Gen Con, everybody. So just putting that out there. But yeah, had a good time. Got to see Phil, got to see Ben, got to see Stephen Jones. I haven't seen him since Omaha. I haven't seen some of these people in like 2 years. Like I haven't seen Phil in almost 2 or 3 years. Same thing with Shoemaker. It's just it was really good to get out and see everybody and how everyone responded just to like how awesome it was.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I'll just. What about you, John? What did you play?
So I played Gojira, much like Ryan. I cycled through like 4 or 5 decks that I wanted to play in Orlando. I went into the event like not really trying to like be super competitive. Like I really didn't have any expectations of making top 16 or anything like that. I was like, I'll just play something funny. Like I had like an Earth Cement Toss deck that I liked, and I played it for a while and testing. It was kind of fun. I kind of settled on that. And then I played Logan, who's one of our locals. He played Tokiyami. And I ran it into that like 4 or 5 times, and it was decidedly not fun. What's not fun is playing a 5-hand size character, playing 3 foundations, going on your turn 2, trying to play an attack, and your opponent Evil Gaze Ice Storms you. You're like, huh. All right, that was not fun.
Yeah,
and I was like,
foundation, and your next card's twice as hard to play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll just, I liked Life Asui or Water Asui. Maybe I'll play one of those. I like Asui as a character, and like I've always liked Jiro. Cannon Blast had just come out. Or like, why don't we try this? It seems funny. It's got weapon in charge. Sure, let's do it. And I actually really liked the deck. It was a lot of fun. I started 3-0. And I played Chaco 2. I played an Ingenium deck, who Ryan also played. I believe his name was Paul, was the guy I played. It was Ingenium Order. Seemed like a lot of fun. That was like I took it in 3 games, and we just took turns beating the shit out of each other. It was
awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, then round 4, I played Jacob Johnson, who obviously ended up winning the event on Earth Kirishima 2. I was literally kind of falling asleep in the game because much like Chris and I guess the rest of us didn't really get a lot of sleep. And, I guess I'm really not at the age anymore where I can kind of do that stuff and expect to function properly. And then so I started 3-0, went 0-3, and I lost Matt in round 6. And I was like, I am really tired. I can't really focus on the game. So probably not good to keep playing. And I dropped. But got to hang out and talk to a lot of people and meet a lot of people. I kind of missed the window of UFS when it started to like when the community became like super close and super tight.
Well, you didn't play really at all during the Jesco era until now. Like
yes,
you played with Fantasy Flight, and then after Fantasy Flight bailed on the game. Kind of haven't touched it since.
Yeah, so I quit right as Jasco bought the game. Like the last Gen Con or the last Worlds I played at, Jasco had like just purchased, and they were like, I think it was like the first time of them running Worlds. And so that was like kind of the end of like my experience. So I didn't get to like none of these people I've really met ever in person, like Ben Shoemaker or like I know obviously Nathan DeWalt is not. He's far too much of a baby to have played in that area.
Yeah, he's a newbie.
But like I'd still never met him. I've talked to Tam. I've never met him in person.
You never met any of the Rochester guys before.
Never met any of them. Like I know Tim Keefe from doing this. I got to meet him, and so I got to meet a lot of people too. It was just really cool.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I was going to ask specifically about that, like your first event back out and even further, your first exposure to the community, because that's one thing that I mean, Chris and I can sit here and preach about it all day, and Ryan knows it as well. But like, how awesome the competitive community is for this game. Like, and I'll even go so far as to say, even with the addition of all the new people we've got from MHA, I think it is far heavily still weighed towards the way it's always been versus any sort of like shift. Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're introducing money as a reward. You're going to get crappy people down. It's not going to be the same." There's a little bit of that, I guess, like people who want to try to just play and don't have the same kind of camaraderie while playing, but at the same time, it's not like a toxic environment like a lot of other card games have gotten to. So what was your take as someone who this is your first exposure to it, and even further to MHA competitive scene?
Oh, it was great, man. I will say, like I had those first game nerves, the first game jitters, sitting down a little bit, but then you start kind of getting back into it, and it's like riding a bike. It just kind of comes back to you. You're like, all right, this is familiar. Like I, kind of calm down and settle down and just, even in between or during matches, just making light of situations, that kind of stuff. I'm generally more of a sarcastic kind of flat, laid back person. And so having my opponents be like that as well. Sorry, Joey is scratching and also knocking the door at the same time.
He's very excited.
But it was really cool just getting to meet people, and like I've interacted with these people on the forums and stuff, and it's you get there and you meet them and it's like, oh yeah, it's Sean, like, or you're like, or like with Andrew, like I want to say round 5 I sat down, I didn't realize Andrew was sitting beside me, and he was like playing his match, and then we were just all kind of talking because like Osei was on this side of me, Andrew's over here, and we're all just kind of like talking, like shooting the shit, and he was like, yeah, John, and I was like, it didn't register at first, and I was like, oh, it's Andrew. So that was cool. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the people that I hadn't interacted with, I mean, it's like we've said with the community, you just kind of start talking to people, and it's like you've known them forever, and like they're just super chill. And because like I've never spoken to Travis, and at the end, who came in second at the event, and at the end, while we were waiting on the final standings and stuff to come out, like we were kind of all congregated. Travis came in, like he was sitting right here, and we just took up a conversation, and we're just talking about his deck and Asui and this, and, all this kind of stuff, and it was super natural and not like awkward at all.
Fun fact about Paul, I played him in the main deck league a couple weeks ago, and he was playing Ingenium, and that's just,
Nice.
me and Ryan, we had figured that out when we were because me and Ryan were paired that round next to each other, and we were talking to him, and I was like, yeah, you play, yeah, because when he said his Discord name, it sounded very familiar. And we were chit-chatting. He's like, it's like PEB. I forget the last couple digits, but he's like, I thought your voice sounded very familiar. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, we played before, and that's kind of cool that you just, because like, when you play people on webcam, you don't see their face, unless they have like a setup to show their face, all you do is see their hands. And it was really cool to like actually like meet some people that, I met John, the guy who stomped my ass at Provisional 6 round 1, and then he beat my ass in 10 minutes. Played him again in the regional, but he was leaving for Disney, so he gave me the win. But he kicked my ass in 5 minutes. So it's like I can't. I tell you, dude, I'll play Asui all day. I hate playing the bird, man. That is my silver bullet, man. Just the bird, I just can't. I hate it. I'm gonna flip.
He slays, man.
Yeah, dude. He just murders, and but it was really cool to like just interact with the people again. Struck up conversations with Miles and Danielle, and we were all chit chatting about just pre-Jasco, post-Jasco, how us old vets kind of like take it all in, and that was really good. And then it was neat trading too. Like even like. Because, I was my first time with the new promos, and I'm just like running around trying to get a set of Texas Smash before the event. I'm like, come on, wheeling and dealing, throwing cards. It's like, oh, hey, this is, chuck a card across the stadium and all that. So did get talked to for having an open alcohol container on the floor.
Yeah, you need an adult.
I know. I didn't have the hot tech that Shoemaker had. I didn't have a beer koozie. So they probably just thought he was just drinking a soda. So yeah, I needed a koozie, and everyone but it was whatever, because there's no alcohol policy in the Jasco policy. I just gotta, please don't do that anymore. And I'm like, not a problem. So yeah. But the Jasco staff was really friendly. They were really nice. The judges were all pretty friendly. There was a couple
really smoothly.
There's a couple rulings I asked for, and it didn't take very long, and so that was great. Time extensions weren't like passed out like candy, but we did get them when needed, and it was.
We got a lunch break.
We did.
What? Yes, sir.
It was not planned, or at least it wasn't pre-planned. They said they announced like during one of the rounds. I think they said they were going to do it.
The real MVP of the tournament was Ryan, who finished his match in like 10 minutes and went and got everyone's lunch. He's the real MVP.
He even got me food, and I didn't even get a chance to I was playing my match. So yeah.
So he's the real MVP right there, man. And he picked
That's why I play the aggro deck, baby. Aggro deck, so we can go do stuff.
Play the taco trucks. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, as far as like the event, how it was run and everything, man, like yeah, they did a good job. It was just like Origins, man. Like they ran it smoothly with what they had there. They had a bigger staff than they had at Origins at this RLE. So props to them and anyone who like anytime you go play an event, make sure you thank your judges, man. They do a lot of work. Thank the organizers. Like they put a lot of work in to make that shit go smooth for us. So take some time to thank them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
And shout out to Tam and Levi for doing all that commentating for 2 whole days again, and
and looking fly as hell too.
Right.
I can confirm Tam Cardwell went undefeated this weekend. He played 2 matches with the Midoriya deck, won both games. So
nice.
He got some games in at least. Yeah.
Nice.
So
very good.
Yeah, I believe Tam wants to throw down Midoriya v Midoriya. He's gonna run 1 and I'm gonna run 2. And we're gonna
I was present for a little bit of smack talk in there about M1 versus M2.
Are we gonna have a content creator battle with you two?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've done it before. Yeah, we're gonna do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Running it back.
Yeah. This time it's just Midoriya v Midoriya.
I was saying it's just be Friday night Midoriya fights.
Yeah. Let's go.
So I guess what was the coolest thing you guys ran into at this event? I guess like for me it was certainly that Ingenium deck that Paul was playing. That thing just like was just randomly. It's like, hey, here's this like 15 damage move catch, and just out of nowhere, it's just like here's all this shit, just stats catch. It was a cool deck.
Yeah. He also had an Ingenium playmat, which I was not expecting.
Yes, it was really cool.
That was
really cool,
man. That was
and
cool. Yeah.
he had the Sesame Street hat, and I'm a huge Muppets fan. I love Jim Henson, so we talked about that as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's the same dude. I didn't realize that was the deck that he was running. After that. Okay, cool. Yeah, that is a cool deck.
Yeah. So my vote would be the Ingenium deck.
I faced a Midoriya 2? No, Midoriya 1, who sighted into Monoma, and he whooped my ass in game 2, man. He's like, I touch you. I'm gonna draw some cards. Then he's like, I'm gonna joint effort offensive for 1 million damage, and I'm like, that sucks. He's like, this is my only copy, and I'm like, that's cool. And then he's like, and he's like, pow, 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 pow. But yeah, that was cool. He helped me get a Texas Smash for a buddy of mine, so he was looking for Excited for Blood, so I was like, I just want to do 1 for 1 because I'm not going to try to haggle. He's like, that's cool, man, if you want to do that. So I got Corey's last Texas Smash, so that was cool. He was I forget the gentleman's name, but he was really cool. Everyone I played was really awesome. Man, I think some dude, some old man beat my ass with a midnight deck. I don't know, man. That guy
Ancient
sus.
Fossil probably.
Sus.
He's
super
times.
sus.
I think the Midoriya 2 deck that I played against and took an L from was a really cool list. Like he was running Go for the Win.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Like, there was one game where he literally built 2 foundations turn 1. I built like my 4 or 5. He then goes for the win, goes up to 3, and then just starts swinging. And I was like, "What are we doing?" And he was just like, "We're dying. That's what we're doing." So like, it was a cool deck. Like being a character that I've put some time into and I really like as well. Like it was still off a good, but it was a very different approach. So that was really cool to see. So yeah, I'd say that was probably the most surprising deck that I played against. That I thought was pretty awesome. So yeah. That's where I would say the Shoto last round was also really cool because it was order, so he's just looping, Electric Jolt as much as he wants. Pretty all right.
Pretty not bad strategy.
Yeah. Let me commit your thing, then pick it up on your turn. I got a high block, and I'm ready for my next turn to do it again. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I guess we should also obviously talk about the return of the K.
Oh, Jesus.
The man's back, baby.
How many?
I
didn't catch the character breakdown. How many were there?
Do you know? I haven't seen.
So.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I ran.
Okay. There was at least 2 in top 16. There was at least 1 fire, and then obviously Jacob's Earth. Was there another one?
Yeah,
I played
just 2.
Was Ant
first round?
And he was it? Was it Duvall? Was he playing a Kirishima too? Because didn't him and Jacob have the mirror match in top 8, something like that?
They made the deck together, from what I understand. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that would make sense.
It was top. Then there was 3 in top 16. So the fire version is the spicy version because that thing can kill people. But I'm really interested to see the fire list because Earth is that the deck's degenerate, as to quote Jacob Johnson via Messenger this morning. So
well, hey, look out on the Go Beyond Gaming Andrew's channel, because I know he was working on getting all top 16 deck lists together. So I'm sure he'll have a video out for that soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't have it up today. I was hoping he would have it today because he pumps out those videos like Christmas. So
yeah.
But not today. But probably the next couple of days for sure. I know Phil did a video on something on the way home, but I don't think it was about an Orlando recap. I think that was more about a continuation of deck stuff, like sideboarding and stuff like that. So,
but yeah, the top 16 was a lot of the usual suspects. Obviously, the finals were Earth Kirishima 2 versus Water Asui. There's at least one Life Asui in top 16. You had Tim Keefe on Tokiyami. Some Ochakos up in there. There was a Sero 1 in top 16.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He played Jacob in the first round of Top Cuts, and
lost. Yeah.
But I was shocked when I saw that. As someone who I have a soft spot for Sero 1, just because you read those powers, and you're like, this should be good. This should work somehow, but I can't. I'm not good enough to make it work. But clearly, whoever that was did.
Kevin Broberg was on Momo 1. That was interesting. I think there was 2 Giros. There was Barry Everson on Air Giro,
and Jose was on
Good, the Staff Strike Good version of Giro. Yeah, it was 11. I think if I remember correctly, 11.
Corey was on Eraserhead again, right?
He was not
Corey
in top.
He didn't make top.
He was 17th.
Yeah,
he was 17th.
Yeah,
there you go.
Andrew, I know Andrew was close. He was on Fourth Kind.
Yeah, this was Fourth Kind deck.
But
there was an Air Ochako 2 in Top Cuts. Air Ochako 2, surprising.
Yeah. 11 different characters in Top Cuts, so we're still diverse metagame, man. So still very diverse.
Yeah,
don't say that word.
What? I use it in a good way. I use it in a good way. We don't need diversity because we are diverse. That's why.
Okay, gotcha.
Game's got enough balance already. It's fine.
Characters are fine.
Simple spread was missing the kind of the ones you would expect. No all, I think. No evil.
No evil.
Yeah, Matt I think was the closest chaos, and he was right on the edge. So
23rd, right?
Yeah, 23rd.
Yeah, but like we talked about, he was in that mix of people all kind of fighting in the pack to get in that final one. So
we're separated by our tie breaks at that point.
Yeah. I don't think there was a Void deck in top 16.
Wasn't the Sarah Void?
I think he was Order. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I thought it was Void, but it might not remember. I don't know.
We need Andrew to tell us. Get him on the show now. Call him.
That's true.
At any rate, so what are you guys overall big picture kind of takeaways from the event? Do you think with obviously the DLC has shaken things up to some degree because Kirishima 2 won the event? Do you think it's going to have any long lasting impressions? Do you think we're going to see in Toronto, you're going to see a pile of Kirishima 2s? Or even further at Gen Con, it's going to be a ton of Kirishima 2s? Or you think it's still going to be people playing Asui, playing Tokiyami, playing Ochako, Jiro, that kind of stuff?
I think he's just added into the mix. I think that's it. I really do. I think it also depends on who's piloting him. So, because I was talking to someone, and someone was like, well, isn't Asui hasn't won really anything in a while. In a while. Since Set 2's come out, I don't think she's won an event yet, if I'm correct. And it's not, I don't know if it's because of there's just so, but she's still one of the most heavily represented characters.
She's still very good. I mean, she came in second.
Yeah, and she's no slouch. Tokiyami's no slouch. It's just the way your matchups fall because.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of have a tier of characters who have a good chance, across the board, say, once they make top cuts, then it all just comes down to what matchups you do or don't run into, right? And so Kirishima, if I'm not mistaken, outside of original Kirishima, who's now neutered into the ground, and then when you won that provisional with All Might, is only the second character then that's not a 7-hander to win a large tournament. I think that's very interesting because before it's your Asuis, your Tokiyamis, your Eraserheads, all these 7-handers from set 1 who are winning these events more consistently. So I'll be interested to see if Kirishima is able to start taking more events down, or if it was just the fact that they'd only been around for a couple weeks and people just really hadn't either gotten them. Like our store literally got the DLC in on Friday after we had already left. Fortunately,
Wasn't
we
it
had all
only
acquired
like?
our own.
Was
But
it
I'm
really?
saying
Wow. Was it a week? I think he's been out for like a week, right?
it's a couple
Has it been a
weeks.
week?
It's
A couple weeks, really? Okay.
It's been a couple weeks. Like since official release was about a month ago, but stores didn't have it for like 2 weeks
Fair
after
enough.
that or something like that. But
Yeah,
point
you're
being,
right. You're right.
he's the Earth build is definitely the grindier build. To your point earlier,
Mhm.
it's the build that I had. Like actually, Jacob and I sat down before the event. I was like, "What you playing, man?" And I was like, "I'm playing Midnight." I was like, "What are you playing?" He's like, "Earth Kirishima." I was like, "Oh, dude, I built that list too. It looks nasty." He's like, "Yeah." And then we sit down and we compare lists on our phones, and I'm like, "Yep, these lists are real close to the same." So I hope I don't play you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't make it that far, so I didn't have to.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that I still think that he's fine. Like he plays defense like a 7-hander, which is kind of cool because his ability lets him commit. But hey, guys, he's a good reason to play Blood Curdle.
I'll say,
Yeah.
as Tim Keefe would say, Blood Curdle stonks up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like just put 2 to 3 of those in your board. Take out those ultra compressed weights, like I told you to about a month ago. Replace them with Blood Curdles and commence to jiggling whenever you sit down across from Kirishima. So I guess he really relies on that.
There's a lot of characters. It's probably not a bad call. Like Mineta 2.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I don't think that dude's actually any good though. And like he's just annoying.
Yeah.
But he's yet made like what 1 top cuts, I think.
I think he's had at least 2.
He's made. I think he's made 2.
I think he
maybe he's better than I'm giving credit for.
At least a provisional, and I think maybe the Vegas, or no, he didn't make it the Vegas. It was Origins.
Yes, he
maybe?
did. No, it was, I think
Vegas.
wasn't he first seed in Vegas? Wasn't it Devolve?
Maybe I don't remember. They all run together at this point.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. We need that update in the website.
Yeah,
I'll work on it.
I was surprised at the lack of May. I didn't see really anybody playing May. And for her to have been like the second most represented character, off by 1, I believe, from Asui in the last event, and to have basically, I mean, I'm sure she was there, but I didn't see anybody playing it. That doesn't mean she wasn't represented.
Yeah.
But the consensus kind of seemed like people have kind of cooled down maybe on May a little bit.
Well, you think about it though, like what's the game right now? Turns 2 and 3 Blitzkrieg decks right now with like the 25 attack Asuis and like just people hammering home, and she's really bad on turn 2 and 3. Like if you don't get to go first and get to that second babies where you're a 7-hander, you're that's even if you draw attacks, by the way, so she's very, very vulnerable in the early state of the game right now.
Yeah, she's a mid to late game kind of character, and most games are over by the mid game. Like that being said, the grand finals went real late, and Jacob had 25 foundations in play before he finally put together the 9 attack turn to win the game. So we say these things, but things have changed. The trade off is that when you make it to top cuts, those rounds aren't timed. Like that's the thing that a lot of people I think forget when they're watching top cuts matches and all. They're like, oh man, like these decks are so broken because you can go so long. Well, the thing is they have infinite time. Like when you have 50 minutes to win 2 out of 3 or to make sure you win that first one, it's a little bit of a different game, and you have to design your deck to be able to do that. And then sometimes you just as a player have to be able to shift gears to be able to go the long game as well. So yeah, it's I don't know. I feel good about the meta. I don't think that Kirishima's got any problems right now. I think he's good. I think he'll probably not be some dominant force just because I don't think a lot of people were prepared for him. A lot of people weren't testing around him. And now that they've seen what he can do, people will probably build it in their play group and they'll get some reps into it and they'll figure out how to play against it.
He doesn't have coordinated effort.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true.
What about you, Ryan? What were your kind of overall takeaways or thoughts from the event?
That's just what we already talked about, man. It's really diverse meta. It's good to see. I agree with Matt. Kirishima, you'll see him running around. He's not going to be dominant like K1 was. And if he is, it's because all the good players are playing him. Like, the character itself is not dominating you. He's not oppressing you to the point where you just hate playing the game. So, I think it's a pretty healthy format. I'm pretty happy with where everything is at right now. So we'll see how it shakes out going into Canada. I'm interested to see how big that event is actually, to see if we get like tangible results from it that we can take anything from. You know, I don't know what the player base looks like up there.
Yeah, and it's how many American players are gonna cross the border?
Yeah.
Normally, like Michigan normally goes up for their stuff.
Okay.
And Canada historically has had a pretty good group.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was honestly asking. I literally have no idea. Like, do you think it'll break 100 people?
No, I would be surprised if it breaks 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Haven't they also had issues getting cards?
Yeah, they outside of getting product from Card and Magica, they can't get set to.
That's rough.
I mean, Devin's ordered stuff from Bromley, but Devin lives in Calgary, and that's like a long ass drive or a flight. So I don't know if Devin and Garrett are going or not. So I haven't heard. But yeah, the Toronto scene's been kind of grown by Mike Lowe and Danny Fung. They've been kind of getting the people playing a bit, but I don't know how
so big. Free.
But yeah, so and I know Kevin said that Kevin and Sean talked about Rochester going. Tim may go. Just depends on time off and how things coordinate, so.
Okay.
It's at a con. It's at like Anime North or something like that. So there may be an additional convention. Cost. Yeah, it's an anime convention. So.
Oh no! Is there going to be more exclusive promos? Good lord.
No.
More ball might.
Nah, from what I heard, there's a bunch of voice actors because Ryan Fields was talking about getting a bunch of Mina stuff signed. Because I bought a signed Mountain Lady character card off of him over the weekend.
Nice. Look, until you start playing her again, I don't want to hear about it.
Hey man, It was cool. I'm very excited.
He's not going to play until he has a set of 4 signed.
God.
Yeah, and the signed custom playmat he has. I think at that point he's contractually obligated to play.
I'm not exclusively. The issue is I can't play with that playmat on stream, so I've been yelled at about that once before by Tim Fleetleaf. So yeah,
you just turn it over, so then it's it's just the black playmat. No, he will not be censored.
No.
Okay.
No. Anyways,
I think that's kind of all of our stuff for the Orlando recap. Unless you guys have any last thoughts on Orlando or the event at large.
Go to Gen Con, people. You'll have a blast. Go to Gen Con. You'll have a blast. That's all I'm going to say.
Jasco, please never host an event in Florida again. The state is terrible. Thank you.
No, I mean, it was just a good time. Like, I really liked the actual venue itself because there wasn't anything else going on. Like, we just went in and it was just all the UFA or all the MHA people, I should say. And that was really cool. The tables were a little tiny. So that was kind of strange. Like, it wasn't even
that's my number one gripe. That's my number one gripe.
Wide, so that's weird.
Yeah, they were a little thin, and also most card players are not small.
Yeah.
Well, hey, the secret tech for that tournament was if you got to the lower tables, like 80, the tables are actually wider on the lower tables. So if you were down there, you had a little wider tables, baby. Let's go.
Consolation prize, right?
So I guess that's just like the added difficulty. The better player you are, that you have the less space
to manage your better.
Yeah,
it's how they ramp up the difficulty in MHA.
You gotta have that mental fortitude, man.
Can he do it?
It's like in Fallout, they just put more health on all the enemies, and you do less damage. In MHA, you just get smaller area to play.
Yep.
Hilarious.
Before we go, we do, I guess not like an announcement, but previously we've done like the Symbols of Peace series. Obviously now with set 2, that is something we're going to revisit here before too long. If you guys have any feedback or any suggestions, other stuff, or even stuff with Symbols of Peace, let us know. But in some form or fashion, we are going to bring it back for set 2. We had at least a few people ask us about it at the event. Like, hey, are you guys not doing... Are you guys not doing it for set 2? Like, it was like a lot of content. We're like, we're working on it.
Well, and with that being said, a shout out to all of our fans and listeners, even the listeners who aren't fans. It was awesome to get to meet some of you guys this weekend, and even further, it was great to see some of you again after having met you before. And we love you. We appreciate you wanted to hear us talk about this stuff. And, we are more than open to any sort of like feedback. And if there's certain things you want us to talk about or topics you want us to explore, like John was just talking about, just let us know. Also make sure to like and subscribe, right? And do all the algorithm things.
Algorithm things.
And check out our, our Facebook and our website. There was somebody there, our YouTube, our podcast on Spotify and wherever else Ryan gets it posted. Apple, all
it's
of it.
literally everywhere. It's everywhere.
Everywhere on the moon, you name it, all of it.
Yes.
So.
I'm going to continue doing deck profiles from set 2 characters once I get more just time. So hopefully this week I'll have Bakugo 2 done. So it'd be kind of nice. And then I know, go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say, you got Gen Con coming up. You gotta commit to a deck, right?
Man, I'm not. Oh, don't. I'm kind of a newsflash. I am shelving All Might for this event because I'm using my buys and I want to play. I have 3 decks I'm looking at, so we'll see what happens.
Betrayal.
Well, I did get punished for putting in different cards and playing on a different playmat this weekend. So
Superstition supreme.
Dude, for real.
I feel you.
Yeah,
I
for
feel
real.
you.
Yeah.
But,
I know like a couple ideas for the price of peace thing we've been floating around. I'm just gonna give a sneak peek. We've either gonna do 1 symbol a week or we're gonna do a battle of 2 symbols. I don't know. It'll be up to the 3 co-hosts here who are the originals. So
gotcha.
Yeah. Let us know what you want.
Definitely. Well, unless anyone has anything else to add, I'm just gonna say thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate all your support. And like Matt said, it was great. We met a couple people who were like literally I was walking into the event and someone was like, John. I was like, yeah. They're like, love the podcast. I was like, oh, cool. Thank you. I was like, did I offend somebody? Like,
am I still wearing my work name tag? Like,
seriously, or that one random person who was just driving by, flipping me off as we were driving into Orlando.
That happened too.
He was like, I fucking hate your podcast.
Exactly.
I'm listening to it right now.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Later.
See you guys. Have a good night. Later.